Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're going to continue our journey in search of the perfect sunscreen. I'm actually going to be rating and reviewing some recent sunscreen launches so we can bring some new things into the market. If you're still struggling to find the right sunscreen for you, hopefully this video might give you a few more options where we're going to talk about some specifically Western sunscreens. I know, Korean sunscreens, we've heard it, we've been there, we've done that. I think we've done that one to death. So I am going to still continue to review Korean sunscreens as part of my monthly Korean sunscreen unboxing video that I do, but today we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about the Western sunscreens and some of the new developments on the market. We're also going to be sharing with you some fantastic options for people with deeper, richer skin tones, because I do know it can be really difficult to find a no white cast and non-ashy alternative. So if you're interested in finding out a little bit more, keep on watching. The idea for this video actually came about on the back of a recent video I did sharing with you my favourite tried, tested and independently verified sunscreens. That video blew up. It's already one of the most highly viewed videos on the channel and you guys have gone mad for it. So I'll leave a link to that video up there if you haven't checked it out already. But if you read the comments of that video, a lot of people said, great, thanks for the recommendations, but what about these brands? These newer to launch sunscreens and brands, why have they been missed off the list? It's just a case of the fact I hadn't got around to trying them, testing them, reviewing them and looking at the ingredients and the reviews online at the time of filming that video. So I'm going to put right that wrong in this video today. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the newer launches in sunscreens and what I think about them. Of course we're going to be looking at whether they've been independently verified, whether they're cruelty free, what the formulation's like, what sort of filters they use and whether we think that there is a place for them in your skincare routine. I'm also going to be calling out some fantastic options for people with darker, deeper and richer skin tones because again I think that's something that can be quite hard to find in the market, so hopefully this video will help fill that gap a little bit. Right, enough waffle, let's get straight on into it and talk about one of the biggest sunscreens launches in the last 6 months, and that is 11 by Venus Williams. This hit the market hard and everyone fangirled hard over it. They're on the Defense sunscreen, which comes in at SPF 30, though they do also do a serum version which happens to be 35. I'm not sure why there's a difference in the SPF value between the two, but the cream is an SPF 30 and the serum is an SPF 35. The 11 is her clothing brand and she's created a fully inclusive sunscreen which is mineral but will also not leave that ashy or white cast on the skin. So it's totally inclusive in terms of everyone's skin tone can use this product, which is fantastic, but also it's a mineral sunscreen. It can be really hard to actually formulate mineral sunscreens which don't leave that thick and heavy white cast. That's because the minerals we use, traditionally titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, are white in nature, and so it can be really difficult to avoid that when you're formulating this. She has done this and she has knocked it out of the park. Is that a tennis reference? No. I think I've got my sports mixed up, but go with it. She has really delivered when it comes to this. This product's formulated with a zinc oxide concentration of 25%. First of all, props to 11 for being fully transparent on the concentrations of their filters, which I love to see more sunscreen companies doing. Formulators, dermatologists, and people in the industry generally say that you need a concentration of around 20% zinc oxide to deliver an SPF of 30. Now, of course, there's a lot of margins within that because it depends on what other ingredients you incorporate into the product, and that's not a hard and fast rule. But as a general guide, this gives us confidence that this product is likely to deliver in excess of that SPF 30, which is claimed on the bottle. In terms of the consistency, it's a cream consistency. It takes a little bit of working into the skin, but will deliver that ashiness and white cast free appearance once you've done so, which is absolutely fantastic. What I love about this product is it gives a clean alternative. So if you're into your clean skincare, your clean beauty, then obviously you'd be reaching for mineral filters over the traditional chemical ones, and this gives a really good option for people that do want a white cast, ashiness free, blends beautifully into the skin, clean skincare alternative to some of the traditional more cakey and ashy mineral sunscreens. So they've done a really wonderful job, and I would highly rate this sunscreen if you want to try it. It's a little bit up there in the price point, but I think if you've struggled for years and years and years to find a white cast and ashiness free mineral sunscreen, if you've got darker, deeper and richer skin tones, this could be a really great option for you. So yeah, big tick in the box. Now let's keep in the realms of those inclusive sunscreens, those that are designed to work for all skin types, and don't exclude those with a deeper, darker and richer skin tone, which often quite a few of the more traditional sunscreens can do. And here we have Black Girl Sunscreen, which is a brand which really hit the headlines when it launched late last year. It's just become available here in the UK and Europe, though I think you were able to previously buy it on Amazon and some other sites before that. Whilst this product doesn't label itself as clean, they do call out that it's free of fragrance and parabens, which are two things which people are looking to minimize in their skincare. So if that's you, this could be a really great alternative. Again, it's designed to leave no ashiness or trace of white cast on the skin. Now, this isn't marketed traditionally at my demographic. I appreciate that. And whilst I don't have a dark skin tone, so it's not really applicable for me to test and make sure that's true, I reached out to a friend actually who's over in the States who does meet the demographic that this is very much targeted at, and asked her to use it and see what her thoughts and feelings were. She confirmed it didn't leave any trace of ashiness or white cast on the skin, which is a big tick in the box, but she also called out, which is something I hadn't particularly thought about when we're talking about sunscreens, that when she applied it and she did a little bit of light exercise, obviously you sweat, and usually if a product, it might go on clear and leave no white cast, but when you sweat it leaves those beads of white or slightly purpley white streaks down the skin. That's not a good look, and again, it ruins the enjoyment and the appearance of the product because you don't have to keep reapplying time and time again. My friend confirmed that this wasn't an issue whatsoever, and so I think this is a really great thing, and something that I didn't really consider before, but something that if it's happened to you and it is something that you want to avoid in the future, this could be a really great sunscreen for you. I also, in this, I do have a little bit of an issue with a brand that wants to be as inclusive as possible, but then actually in the labeling and the marketing of the product is a little bit exclusatory in my opinion. Not because I think it excludes people with lighter skin tones. You know what? There's plenty of sunscreens on the market for people with lighter skin tones. I don't think anyone should lose any sleep over that. But for me, when it's called Black Girl Sunscreen, I'm thinking, what about the guys? What about those guys with the deeper, darker, richer skin tones, which is so important to apply sunscreen regularly and still take care of your sun protection levels? I think it's a little bit of a shame that it kind of excludes the guys, because I thought we were moving into a world where skincare in general was becoming a little bit more genderless and actually just applicable to everybody. You look at brands like the Inkey List and the Ordinary, they try to be as gender inclusive as possible and get away from some of that. I'm not calling it out, and I don't think I'm going to knock points off. I just wanted to call that out, and I do think it's so important for guys and girls, whatever your gender, it doesn't matter, you need to wear a sunscreen. And so I would have liked it if they'd have chosen a little bit more of a gender inclusive name, but you know, that's just personal preference and I'm not going to read them too much for that. Now moving on to a brand which has received a little bit of hate and a little bit of shade online for launching this specific product, and that's Supergoop with their Daily Dose Vitamin C Serum plus SPF 40. A lot of people have called this out as, why would we want a vitamin C serum with an SPF in? You need to reapply SPF multiple times during the day, but you wouldn't apply a vitamin C serum multiple times during the day. So this product isn't really great for reapplication. There just seems to be a lot of issues with it. In terms of finding any independently verified data, I wasn't able to. Again, stressing that doesn't mean it doesn't live up to that. I just haven't been able to find any on the back of it. This is a cruelty-free brand, which is fantastic, and I think a lot of people have fangirled hard over the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen, which was great. Another game-changing sunscreen that everybody loved. This one, I think people had that hype because it's from that same brand, and it just fell a bit flat. I've tried it, and I was woefully unimpressed. Like, I didn't particularly like the strength of the vitamin C or the type of vitamin C that they used. I thought the serum was okay, but it left a bit of a tacky film on the skin, which wasn't great. Again, I couldn't reapply it because you don't want to apply your vitamin C's multiple times during the day, so that was a little bit awkward. And also, you don't want to be applying vitamin C everywhere on the skin, and yet you do want to be applying your SPF everywhere on the skin. So my issue is there's a huge increase in rates of skin cancer on the tops of the ears and on the eyelids. These are areas where people generally forget to apply their SPF because we rub it on our face and we tend to avoid the eyelids. If you've ever put retinol or an exfoliating acid on your eyelid, you know why you avoid that area, because it's just so sensitive. But you should always include your SPF in that area. I wouldn't be putting a vitamin C on my eyelids. I just think that's a really bad idea and could lead to sensitivity, irritation and redness. And so you wouldn't apply this on your eyelids, so you're not getting that SPF protection. It's confusing, it's a mess, it's a firm no from me. Actually, Supergoop did come out and clarify that they think this should be used as a base SPF and you should put a proper SPF on top of it. What's the point? What's the point, people? Get a vitamin C serum. In fact, I did a whole video on my favourite vitamin C serums. Check that out. Get your right vitamin C serum in your life and then just use another moisturiser. This was a dud, and I think they'll probably come to regret launching this product because it's a bit on the pointless side. Now, Versed is a brand which has got a lot of love recently. People have gone really hard for Versed and said how amazing some of their formulations are. Their retinol, I think it's called the Day Reset retinol, actually really good, holy grail favourite of mine. And they're a really great vegan, cruelty-free brand, and they've got some gorgeous, like, uplifting packaging. Their Versed Daily Mineral Sunscreen SPF 35 comes in gorgeous sunshine yellow colouring. It looks really nice on the vanity and it delivers an SPF of 35. I applied this. Now, this is not, we've talked previously in this video about those mineral sunscreens which don't leave a white cast or an ashiness on the skin. This one did. Even on my skin, I felt it was a little bit on the ashy side, so obviously this isn't going to be applicable for people with darker skin tones than myself, which I think is a shame because clearly it can formulate without that white cast. So I think this is a little bit of a shame. They disclosed the percentage of the zinc oxide which is in the product, which I love. It comes in at 15.2%. That is a little bit under what you'd normally expect for an SPF of 35 if we're going by that previous guide I shared, but you know what, I wouldn't say that that means it's not living up to that SPF because there might be other things in here which are contributing to the overall protection level. It's just something I wanted to call out, particularly because I couldn't find any independent third-party testing on this product. That's not uncommon in a product that's recently launched into the market, so I'm not going to read them for that. I just wanted to call that out. I think this is a nice product. If you love Versed and you love the brand, this is a really nice addition to your skincare routine. It'll give you that protection. It will definitely won't clog the pores. I've been using it and I'm super breakout prone and it didn't clog my pores. So you can use it with confidence, whether you're the driest skinned out there or you're super oily and breakout prone like myself. I didn't find it added any hydration to the skin, but equally it didn't detract and it didn't mattify so much that you ended up feeling a little bit dry afterwards, which is why I think it's quite nice and applicable for most skin types. Again, that universal application, I quite like that idea, and I think Versed are a really nice brand, so if you bought into the brand, this could be a nice addition to your skincare routine. It's a little bit on the pricier side. I think there are cheaper versions available, but overall, not a bad launch. Now, finally, we're going to come on to the Inkey List, a brand you guys know I adore, and I actually did a whole video on them, which I'll leave a link to up there. They launched their mineral sunscreens. They had a previous sunscreen attempt when they did, I think it was a zinc oxide, just pure zinc oxide paste. Not good. Not good. It didn't work. Nobody liked it. They didn't badge it as a sunscreen. It's a very confusing product. So then they launched with their mineral sunscreen filters. And this product blew up. Everybody said how gorgeous it was. It is tinted, and it's tinted to be applicable for people, I'd say, olive-skinned and lighter. I think anyone darker than an olive-skinned complexion, the tint won't really work for you, and it could leave you looking a little bit ashy and almost have like a purpley undertone, which nobody actually wants. For everybody else, I think this is a really good option. They again disclose the percentages of zinc oxide used at 22.5%, which again is in keeping with an SPF 30 needing around a 20% zinc oxide. So this, I have full confidence that it'll be able to deliver what it's saying it's going to deliver. This is on the matte side of, I'd say, of textures. So if you have a greasy skin, this could work really well for you. If you have excess oil, this again could be a really nice introduction to mineral sunscreens for you. I love the Inkey List. I think this is formulated really well. Is it my go-to? No. I'm actually a little bit of a chemical sunscreen fan. I tend to reach for chemical sunscreens over the zinc oxide ones. That's just personal preference. But if you want a mineral sunscreen, which people said in my first video I did and linked earlier, there weren't enough choice for, well, I'll put that right today, people. This is a really good option for you. Now, guys, I hope that's given you a little bit of perspective of some of the things that are available, giving a more inclusive range of sunscreens, because I do think it can be really, really difficult to find a sunscreen, particularly a mineral sunscreen, which works for you if you have a deeper, a darker, or a richer skin tone. So hopefully I've shared some options for you. Also, it's just to celebrate some new launches. You know, I think we can all get bogged down in which do and don't pass testing, and we can often miss out on some of the fantastic new launches. So hopefully this has brought some of them to the fore and I've been able to share them with you. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you're staying safe and well, and leave me a comment to let me know if you're going to try any of these, if you have tried any of them. Thoughts and feelings, please, below. Take care. Bye.